Hi, I'm Bernie Brown. I'm going to read my story, Hopscotch. Hopscotch. Ginny waited on her front steps for Elizabeth. As she studied the house where Marcy had lived, her stomach clenched in pain. Marcy used to play with them before she got sick and died. The girl had always insisted on having her own way. Ginny and Elizabeth's mothers had made them include her. Maybe she'll be nicer if you were nice to her. Their moms didn't know Marcy. Ginny did. Ginny had heard her talk to her own parents. Shut up, Mom. Or, I'll eat in the car if I want to, Dad. What are you going to do about it? Ginny and Elizabeth had done as they were told and included Marcy in hopscotch, but not in sleepovers. During sleepovers was where discussions about Marcy took place while they lounged on the bed eating popcorn. She's a decent athlete, but a terrible sport. She'd never make a team player. She isn't stupid, but she has a snotty attitude, even to the teachers. Eventually, Ginny and Elizabeth would stop talking about Marcy, a problem they could not think how to fix, and polish each other's nails. Today, while Ginny stood waiting for Elizabeth, she couldn't help but think of Marcy and how, even now, Marcy still made it into their sleepovers in her own way. I feel sorry for her parents. Me too. They're so sweet and shy. Marcy was too much for them. Of course, Ginny thought again, dropping her gaze to the pavement. None of it really matters now. She was dead. Hi, you ready to play? Elizabeth stood in front of Ginny, who looked up with a start. I was thinking about Marcy. I think about her too. Elizabeth opened the box of chalk and drew the hopscotch squares in blue. Ginny wrote in the numbers. Remember how Marcy always wanted pink for the squares? She had pink everything. I guess it wouldn't hurt us to use pink once in a while, said Elizabeth. She'd probably come back from the dead and say something snotty like, you're finally doing it right. The squares were drawn and the girls stood ready to play. You go first, Ginny said. Marcy had made them draw straws to go first, and even then she'd accuse them of cheating if she didn't draw the long one. Last summer, the three girls had painted rocks to use as markers. Marcy's was pink, of course, with a flowery M that smudged together and looked more like some strange animal's paw than an M. Ginny painted a daisy, her favorite flower, and Elizabeth made a butterfly. Elizabeth put her butterfly on square 1, hopped over it, and made it safely to home. On the return trip, she wobbled on square 7, but then straightened, hopped, picked up her butterfly, and safely landed on star. You were great catching yourself. I thought you were going to put your foot down. I thought so too. It was like somebody held me steady. So strange. Ginny shook her head. Creepy. She tossed her daisy and got to home and back with no trouble. We're off to a good start. When it was Ginny's turn to throw on square 4, her daisy landed on the line, something you lost your turn for. And then it scooted back inside the square like somebody pushed it. Elizabeth and Ginny looked at each other, eyes wide. I've never seen that happen before, said Elizabeth. Me neither. Elizabeth shook her head. If Marcy had seen that, she would have said we cheated. If it happened on her turn, she wouldn't say a word. So true. Thinking about what they had just seen made the girls pause. At last, Ginny shrugged and said, I guess we just keep on going. Elizabeth nodded. They both made it to square 10 without either losing having lost a turn. This is one weird game, said Elizabeth. We've never had this kind of luck before. It's like somebody is helping us. It creeps me out. Let's finish as fast as we can and have some lemonade. Elizabeth went smoothly from start to home, as graceful as a dancer. When she stooped to pick up her butterfly, it was like taking a bow. She hopped back to start, A perfect game. Ginny threw her daisy. It landed smack in the middle of the 10 square. It didn't wiggle, bounce, or slide. Disbelief made her lightheaded. She never made perfect throws. She hopped directly to home, jumping over 10. Once there, she took a deep breath. Would she get a perfect game too? She stooped to pick up her daisy and nicked it so it slid away. She reached for it again and it slid very near the line. When she reached again, she felt something hold her hand, place the daisy firmly inside, and close her fingers around it. Ginny hadn't done it. Something or someone else had done it for her. Ginny hesitated before hopping back to start, afraid she would break the spell if she made a mistake. As carefully as if she was on hot coals, she hopped until she made it, her daisy clutched tight in her hand. Elizabeth waited for her, jumping up and down and applauding. We've never done that before. 2 perfect games, like we're charmed. Walking together back to the front steps, Ginny asked, I wonder what Marcy would have said. What if we had gotten 3 perfect games? She would have said she won because she was first or last or in the middle. Whatever position was hers, she would say was the winning position, said Elizabeth. Ginny shrugged. But she isn't here, and we are, and we did it together. Ginny's mom brought them big icy glasses of pink lemonade. As they sipped and giggled about their game, Ginny stopped and asked, do you think Marcy ever regretted being so mean? Elizabeth didn't answer. As if hypnotized, she stared ahead at the lawn. She put down her glass and walked away a few slow, careful steps. Stooping, she picked up something hidden in the grass. She held out her find to Ginny, whose mouth dropped open. Elizabeth's hand held a dirty rock. Ginny took it from her. She turned it over and over. Something pink lurked beneath the dirt, like a message. Ginny blew on the rock to rid it of dirt. The dirt remained. She rubbed it without success. She dipped her paper napkin in her lemonade and wiped the rock. The dirt vanished and a splotchy pink M, like some strange animal's paw, shone up at her, clear and clean and bright. Thank you.